I always found it so hard when I was learning about all these strange, weird words that everyone kept using that I didn't know what they meant. So learning to sew, there's a lot of terminology that goes with it. And I have, for that reason, put together this whole series that is just that, just for sewing terms and teaching you how to speak dressmaker. So this whole series is actually brought to you by my online school, vintagesewing.com, where I teach new sewers just like you how to create their own fashion. So today's word, we're going to look at just what is a seam. This one might seem kind of obvious, but trust me, I have lots of new sewers. When I start talking about things and simple things like a seam, they look at me with, that's the... and wait for me to fill in the gaps, so I know you need to know. So, what is a seam? A seam is basically the stitch line or the fold that is created when you sew two pieces of fabric together and they're usually folded out. So let's take a little bit of a closer look at what that means. So that is any area on a garment that has two bits of fabric stitched together, and then, as I said, they're usually folded apart, and it's that fold or line that is created. So if we have a look down on the garment here, you can see this here, this line down here, the side seam. This here is your seam. So if we have a look and think about it on a garment, your seams down here, this is a seam. Even these ones down the front here are seams. But of course, if we have a look down here, this is not a seam because it's just the one bit of fabric folded up. It's not two bits of fabric sewn together. So this is of course a hem, not a seam. So have a look at the garment even that you're wearing right now and start to notice these things. So they could look different ways. So you can have an open seam. So these are beautiful, and you'll use these most in sewing when you can, and that is where the two bits of fabric at the edges there, the seam allowance, is actually open. So it makes it a lot more flexible in being able to alter it and make any changes you might need to. Or most commonly, if you have any sort of modern made garments and mass manufacturer, they use a closed seam. And so those two bits of seam allowance fabrics at the edges are actually closed, and you can't open them, they're closed. That's because they actually, it's easier because they only have to go down the seam one time. And of course, for mass producing garments, is far more economical. And to lead on further with seams, you might also come across terms like seam allowance or seam finish. So these are two that we're also terms that we're going to explore. I'll link up down below. You should definitely look at those as well. But of course, subscribe to the channel and have a look at the playlist for more so that you can really learn how to speak dressmaker. So, to define seam one more time, it is the areas of a garment that have two pieces of fabric. It's the fold or line created when two pieces of fabric are sewn together, and it's the part that opens up. That is a seam. So thank you so much for watching. Remember, hit the like button if you liked this one, and share it if you know someone who's into dressmaking and needs to know these things. So until next time, bye.